If you've been following everything going on with PlayStation lately, then you already know this month's PlayStation Plus lineup isn't dropping in a vacuum. There's been a lot of conversation recently around account security, age verification in places like the UK, and one specific concern that's really been getting people talking: the idea that your digital library could be at risk if you don't sign into PlayStation Network for a full 30 days. Whether that's being misunderstood, miscommunicated, or blown out of proportion, it's still shaping how people feel about the platform right now. So when the May 2026 PlayStation Plus monthly games were announced, the big question immediately became, is this lineup strong enough to keep people subscribed despite those concerns? Starting May 5th, PlayStation Plus members get access to 3 games: EA Sports FC 26, Wuchang Fallen Feathers, and Nine Souls. On the surface, this is a well-balanced mix. You've got a massive mainstream sports title, a hardcore action RPG, and a stylized 2D action platformer. It checks a lot of boxes, but whether it actually delivers value depends entirely on what you're looking for, and that's where things get interesting. Let's start with the headliner, EA Sports FC 26. This is the kind of game that can carry an entire month of PlayStation Plus, but only for a specific audience. It features over 20,000 players, more than 750 clubs and national teams, over 120 stadiums, and 35 plus leagues, which means in terms of content and authenticity, it's stacked. You also get an exclusive PlayStation Plus Icons pack, which adds extra value if you're into Football Ultimate Team. The gameplay has been refined with feedback from the community, and you can choose between authentic and competitive gameplay presets depending on how you want to play. But here's the reality: if you're not into football, none of that matters. For fans of the series, this is easily the biggest draw of the month and might be enough on its own to justify staying subscribed. For everyone else, it's basically a non-factor. That makes it powerful, but also limited in who it actually appeals to. Next up is Wuchang Fallen Feathers, and this is where the lineup starts to feel a bit more specialized. This is a Souls-like action RPG set in the final years of the Ming Dynasty, where you play as a pirate warrior dealing with a mysterious affliction called feathering that transforms people into monsters. The game leans heavily into dark fantasy, exploration, and challenging combat. You'll be learning enemy patterns, mastering different fighting styles, and building your character by harvesting abilities from defeated foes. For players who enjoy games in the Souls-like genre, this could easily be the standout title of the month. It has that rewarding loop of trial and error where progress feels earned. But just like most games in this genre, it's not for everyone. It's difficult, it's demanding, and it requires a level of patience that a lot of casual players aren't looking for. So while it adds depth to the lineup, it doesn't necessarily broaden its appeal. Then there's Nine Souls, which brings something completely different to the table. This is a hand-drawn 2D action platformer with a heavy focus on deflection-based combat, similar to what you'd see in Sekiro. You're exploring a world shaped by an ancient alien civilization taking on powerful rulers known as the Souls, and following a revenge-driven narrative. Visually, it stands out immediately, and mechanically, it's very precise and skill-based. But again, this is a niche experience. If you like indie-style games and tight timing-based combat systems, you'll probably love it. If not, it might not hold your attention for very long, and that's a pattern we're seeing across this entire lineup. Each game is strong in its own lane, but none of them really reach across the entire player base. And that brings us back to the bigger conversation surrounding Sony right now. When players are hearing things like you might lose access to your digital library if you don't sign into PlayStation Network for 30 days, even if that idea is being debated or clarified, it creates hesitation. People start questioning how secure their purchases really are and whether they're truly in control of the games they paid for. That kind of uncertainty raises the bar for what a PlayStation Plus lineup needs to deliver. The honest answer is probably not for everyone. This is a good lineup. There's quality here, there's variety, and there's definitely value if at least one of these games clicks with you. But it's not a lineup that feels essential. It's not the kind of month where everyone looks at it and says, I have to stay subscribed for this. Instead, it feels more like a solid offering during a time when Sony really needed something exceptional to shift the conversation. If you're already a subscriber, you'll likely find something here worth your time. If you're into sports games, EA Sports FC 26 alone could carry your entire month. If you like challenging RPGs, Wuchang might be your next obsession. And if you're into stylish, skill-based 2D games, Nine Souls could be a hidden gem. But if you're on the fence, especially with concerns about account access and digital ownership in the back of your mind, This lineup probably isn't going to be the deciding factor that keeps you locked in. Before May 5th arrives, don't forget you still have until May 4th to claim April's games, including Lords of the Fallen, Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered, and Sword Art Online Fracture Daydream. Once those are gone, they're gone unless you've already added them to your library. If you enjoyed this video and it helped you decide whether this month is worth it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. And if you want more in-depth discussions like this, check out my Patreon, where my latest exclusive video dives into why games keep launching broken and no one seems to stop it. Game on.